Welcome back to Iraqi Dinar Hub, everyone. There is a growing wave of conversation circulating throughout the community, and today we need to break down a series of reports that have captured widespread attention. These reports center on developments within the United States banking sector that many believe signal a notable shift in the overall landscape. The information suggests that after many years of being unlisted or absent from recognition by major financial institutions, the Iraqi dinar is now reportedly appearing in places where it hasn't shown up in a long time. This has naturally sparked new rounds of chatter and analysis, and our goal today is to examine these claims with a steady and informational approach. At the heart of this discussion are several large U.S. financial institutions, with names like Wells Fargo, Chase, and Bank of America repeatedly surfacing across various sources. For years, individuals holding or inquiring about the Iraqi dinar have shared experiences of these banks insisting they did not deal with the currency or that it did not appear within their foreign exchange systems. The latest report suggests that this long-standing status quo may finally be shifting, which is why this topic is generating renewed interest. What is driving this new wave of discussion is the claim that these banks and, potentially others, are now showing the Iraqi dinar, identified by its currency code IQD, within their internal systems. This does not refer to public exchange rate boards, but rather the internal software and back-end screens that bank employees use to handle foreign currency functions. The narrative gaining attention is that this currency code, once absent or inactive, is now becoming visible again, according to the reports. This visibility represents a new development and a break from the norm many have come to expect for over a decade. These claims appear to be emerging from numerous channels, including customer stories and circulating screenshots. The screenshots allegedly display internal foreign currency screens from banking systems that now include the IQD. As with any such material, verifying the authenticity is not straightforward. Yet the sheer number and consistency of these reports from separate sources are prompting many to take a closer look. It's the collective volume of these individual accounts that is forming a broader narrative, suggesting a possible large-scale internal update within these major institutions. Some of the accounts being shared describe interactions where customers asked about the dinar at their local branches. In these reported situations, tellers have allegedly confirmed that the currency is indeed showing in our system. This is a notable contrast from the typical response given in the past. These anecdotal confirmations are viewed by many as frontline evidence that whatever changes are happening are not theoretical, they reactively appearing within operational banking environments. The consistency of these simple matter-of-fact teller statements is adding momentum to the broader claims. The reason this is attracting so much interest is the sharp contrast it presents compared to previous years. For a long time, people inquiring about the dinar at these same banks were met with a firm statement that the currency was not recognized or handled. The shift from "we don't deal with that currency" to it as showing in our system is, for those who follow this space, a meaningful change. This transition from being ignored to being listed, at least internally, is being considered by longtime observers as a major development. Furthermore, the reports imply that this isn't an isolated occurrence at just one or two branches. The information points to sightings across multiple institutions: Wells Fargo, Chase, and Bank of America in various states and regions. This has led many to propose that this may represent a coordinated update happening at a national system-wide level. Rather than a small glitch or a single branch making an isolated adjustment, if accurate, a simultaneous update across several competing financial institutions would suggest that the data being introduced is coming from a higher-level authority, such as a central oversight body or an international financial data provider. The significance of this, analysts say, lies in the fact that major U.S. banks do not casually add currencies into their internal systems. These platforms are sophisticated, regulated, and tightly controlled. Adding a currency, particularly one with the dinar's history, would typically require authorization, coordination with global financial systems, and integration of an updated data feed. This process involves linking to international settlement networks and compliance frameworks. The very act of adding or reactivating the IQD code is therefore interpreted as deliberate and meaningful. This reasoning continues with the belief that the reappearance of the dinar in these databases is a preparatory step. Internal banking systems are not decorative, they are functional tools. Before any official change to a currency's tradability, exchangeability, or valuation, the infrastructure behind the scenes must be updated to handle it. These systems have to be programmed and tested to ensure that conversions, rates, and security protocols are ready before anything goes live. For this reason, the reported updates are being seen as a necessary part of that groundwork. The timing of these banking-related claims is also being linked to another major development: the recent announcement that Iraq's central bank has received international certification. This certification indicates that Iraq now meets important global banking standards. Many are describing this as a major milestone for Iraq, signaling that the country has made significant progress in modernizing its banking structure, strengthening its systems, and aligning with international expectations. Such certification is often considered a prerequisite for integrating a national currency into broader global financial channels. This certification effectively represents a formal acknowledgement of Iraq's compliance with international requirements. It suggests that the country's financial institutions have met rigorous standards for transparency, security, and operational capacity. This includes everything from anti-corruption measures to compatibility with global payment systems and settlement mechanisms. For the international community, such a certification provides renewed confidence in Iraq's financial sector and sends a message that the country is prepared to operate more fully within global markets. This step is essential for any nation seeking to have its currency traded freely or recognized more widely. The timing of the bank system updates in the U.S. and Iraq's international certification forms the core of the current narrative. Observers argue that these two events appearing so close together is more than coincidence. Many interpret the alignment as a sign of coordination. The idea is that once Iraq achieves certification, global financial partners would logically begin adjusting their internal systems accordingly. A structured sequence of events is being described by many analysts following this story. First, Iraq spent years modernizing its banking infrastructure and working toward compliance with international standards. This was the behind-the-scenes foundational work. Next, after successfully receiving international certification, its currency would begin to gain recognition within global banking data channels. Finally, major U.S. banks, key players in international finance would begin updating their systems to prepare for the currency in an active operational capacity. According to this line of reasoning, Iraq has indeed been engaged in a long-term effort to modernize. This includes improving reserves, combating corruption, implementing new technologies, and aligning with global regulatory benchmarks. Much of these developments occur out of public view, documented mostly in technical reports from institutions like the IMF and World Bank. It is within this broader backdrop that the alleged updates in U.S. bank systems are being interpreted. When a currency that has been absent for years suddenly begins appearing again in foreign banking systems, it is seen as a public-facing symptom of years of quieter preparatory work. Understanding how international banking systems function helps explain why these updates matter. When a currency is expected to undergo a significant change, such as a valuation shift or activation on global markets, banks around the world must align their systems beforehand. This is not something that happens instantly or casually. All platforms must be updated at the same time to prevent rate mismatches, processing errors, or disparities in conversion. This global synchronization ensures that once an official change is introduced, transactions can occur smoothly and consistently everywhere. For this reason, the reported reappearance of the Iraqi dinar in U.S. banking systems is seen as an indicator that these preparatory steps have either begun or are already well underway. This isn't just about having the currency code listed. It's about ensuring that back-end configurations, conversion pathways, security layers are fully operational before any public announcement. This technical readiness is always necessary before any currency movement can go live.